North Korea? This small nation, nestled in East Asia, is a place of mystery and intrigue. Its landscapes, from misty mountains to quiet streets, evoke a sense of the unknown. Shrouded in secrecy, it remains one of the most isolated countries on Earth, with its borders tightly controlled. Its people and their stories are often hidden from view, living lives that the outside world rarely glimpses. Yet North Korea holds a unique place in the world, both for its turbulent past and its uncertain future. The echoes of history resonate through its streets and buildings. To understand North Korea, we must journey back through time, exploring the rich tapestry of its history. We'll trace the threads of its history, from ancient kingdoms to modern conflicts, uncovering the layers that have shaped its present. We'll uncover the events and ideologies that have shaped this enigmatic nation, delving into the minds of its leaders and the hearts of its people. Join me now as we venture into the heart of the unknown to explore the story of North Korea, a land of contrasts and complexities. Long before the world knew of a North Korea, the land thrived with ancient kingdoms. The Goguryeo, Baekje and Silla dynasties left their mark on the peninsula. These kingdoms fostered art, culture and trade. Buddhism flourished, leaving behind magnificent temples and a legacy of spiritual devotion. The Korean language and identity began to take shape during these ancient times. This rich tapestry of history laid the foundation for the Korea we see today. The dawn of the 20th century brought turmoil to the Korean peninsula. Japan, seeking to expand its empire, annexed Korea in 1910. This marked the beginning of a brutal occupation that would last for 35 years. The Japanese imposed their language, culture and rule on the Korean people. Resistance movements emerged, fighting for independence. This period left a scar on the Korean psyche, a resentment that continues to influence relations between the two nations. The seeds of division were sown, setting the stage for future conflicts. Section 4. A peninsula divided, the Korean War and the aftermath. As World War II ended, Korea, freed from Japanese rule, found itself caught in a new conflict. The joy of liberation was short-lived as the peninsula quickly became a battleground for influence between the world's superpowers. The peninsula was divided along the 38th parallel, with Soviet-backed communist forces in the north and US-backed forces in the south. This division set the stage for a prolonged and devastating conflict. In 1950, war erupted, tearing the newly divided nation apart. The conflict saw fierce battles and significant destruction across the peninsula. The Korean War, a brutal conflict that lasted for 3 years, resulted in millions of casualties. Both soldiers and civilians suffered immensely, with entire towns and cities reduced to rubble. Though an armistice was signed in 1953, a formal peace treaty was never reached. The armistice brought an uneasy ceasefire, but the war technically never ended. The peninsula remains divided, a stark reminder of the Cold War and its lasting impact. Families remain separated, and the demilitarized zone stands as one of the most fortified borders in the world. Section 5. The Kim dynasty, shaping a nation's destiny. From the ashes of war emerged a new North Korea, led by the enigmatic Kim Il-sung. He was a leader who promised to rebuild the nation and restore its pride. His vision was to create a self-sustaining country, free from foreign influence. A revered figure in the North, Kim Il-sung established a socialist state based on the principles of self-reliance known as Juche. This ideology became the cornerstone of North Korean society, influencing every aspect of life. His son Kim Jong-il succeeded him, further solidifying the Kim family's grip on power. Kim Jong-il continued his father's policies but also introduced his own methods of control and propaganda. Under their rule, North Korea became increasingly isolated, its people subjected to strict control and propaganda. The regime's focus on military strength and ideological purity left little room for dissent. The Kim dynasty's influence on North Korea is undeniable. shaping its political landscape, its culture, and its very identity. Their legacy continues to impact the nation, defining its path and its place in the world.